Well, shoot. Oh, while you're chatting there, I just got this great idea. Maybe I can sell you guys on it, assuming you have another, 20, 30 minutes or so. Why don't we do like Timothy reacts for MechWarrior Bulldogs? You want to do that,
Jeez.
Dan? Let's do it, and then we can chat a little bit about your composition.
Oh
Afterwards.
boy.
You guys, it's like a 2 minute animatic. So you would need to do the screen share, Timothy, so that you can watch it, and then I'll just overlay the video. But yeah, let's do it. So let's put Bruins on the spotlight if you guys got the time.
Sure.
So I need to go onto YouTube, like
YouTube, MechWarrior Bulldogs.
Yeah,
There should only be
first.
two. There's the director's commentary and then the actual one.
Where I talk about how I break Flash like 5 times over.
Yeah, and then once you got it up, just pull up the screen share. Perfect. Yep, full screen it. Ooh.
There we go.
And I'm getting the sound. Awesome.
Yeah.
nice hits. Loving the art style. It's that kind of
Yeah. And just I got little tears in my eyes from the aerospace swooping in every time it gets me, man. That crescendo.
It's funny because some of the comments are like, when are they going to create a MechWarrior movie? And you know, that's perfect. That's exactly what I picture. You know, that's kind of like what I imagine the animatic white storyboards for the actual film will be.
Yeah. Oh,
wow,
man.
well done.
One day.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, really, the idea was less a full-scale like movie as much as like little snippets of like genre films. So like this is like straight out, this is a heist movie. They're trying to like knock out a thing, get to a thing, get past the fences, and people like zany characters doing zany things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you guys got to sign up for Bruins Patreon. You get a little bit of kind of end credit scene or follow up scenes with the characters. There's some good Patreon content on there. So
I should be like doing. I'm trying to do like a score or a soundtrack to that scene probably later on today or this week, and hopefully that'll be uploaded.
Awesome.
With typo errors and spelling mistakes. You know, it happens.
It's all good. It's all good. Well, yeah, it was yeah, good composition, man. The emotion, it's so good. You know, on that one, it was fun. But yeah, you got three more Timothy to kind of enjoy, you know, of Bruins. So
I'll be watching them after this. So.
For sure. Yeah, that's good.
I appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
Definitely.
You're welcome.
Yeah, what was, you know, for you, you know, you were saying earlier in our conversation about how you kind of had the track and then you kind of built the story and kind of the animatic around that. Mm-hmm. You know, do you feel like that's kind of part of your creative process then, or do you feel like you could do the visuals first and then bring in the sound and build the sound around the visuals, or is that visuals kind of help you, you know, thematically move forward in your storytelling?
So along, like back in my like university days, I did an incredibly nerdy thing called participating in original character tournaments.
Okay.
Which is like where comic artists, animators, illustrators get together online. You submit like a character to some setting, mm-hmm. and you are then paired up with another artist's character, and you depict their interaction. And you have like a month to do it, right? Usually it's like some crazy fight scene or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had like written out the story, did all the drawings for the anime, and like made an animation, made music for, like wrote the music for those because I didn't want to like look through YouTube copyrighted music and all that sort of fun nonsense. I did both of those methods, making the visuals and then doing the music afterwards, and then having the music on hand already and just animating to that. Mm-hmm. Animating to the music for me is easier to do because it's like easier to visualize. It's easier to time everything out.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you are working visually first, something works like a shot, bits of timing, motions will function well visually, mm-hmm. but like they don't match the tempo of whatever sort of piece you're like writing out for it. So you have to like bend and twist and pull time a little bit to make it actually work.
Don't you find by doing that it adds interest to the music because it's it's giving you like unexpected compositional elements. Mm. So like say you've got like the music's hitting regular, so there's a regular drum here, but then something happens visually which throws that off. That can add something different to your mix, which is kind of creates a more interesting outcome.
Yeah, that's actually a moment like that happened in Bulldogs after the sort of like Mr. Mustache is like firing at the Warhawk, right, and it finally turns around to face him. The original track, that sort of moment of tense quiet is like 4 seconds long, but in the actual like full score, it was like 10 or 15 seconds. there was no way to tweak the visuals to make that work. So what I ended up doing was just like doing a hard cut in the actual MP3 file in the timeline, stretched it out and said, I'll fix it later.
Yeah.
And that's really how it goes. So yeah, there's like a push and pull, but
yeah,
I like being able to like see in my head the impacts of like different moments of audio.
Yeah.
It works really well for like scenes with a lot of momentum, like action scenes. I don't know if it would work well for like slower dialogue, that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's almost like choreography.
Do you think that's a matter that, that's because you're doing both, or do you feel like, like I imagine like a John Williams, right, who has no influence in the story itself and the visuals, and they give him the visuals and then he composes around it. Do you think it's because you think it would be better if you created something and then you handed it off, someone like Tim, and said, all right, and then Tim, you had the visuals and then you built it to be able to disconnect from that, or how important is for you creatively to kind of be able to kind of work with those two together and intertwine them?
I think it could be definitely possible.
Yeah. One informs the other.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's a conversation that happens. So like one of the films I was working on was a fan film for Red Hood, and I was actually on set with the director through a lot of it, and we would discuss like musical motifs during filming.
Yeah.
And then it was a case of like being there during the editing process, and it would be like, well, how about it's more like this because the music does this, and then like the music doesn't work, so we have to cut it. Like there's a conversation. It's not you don't like draw a line. It's very kind of organic the way things come together in the end. I think that the result is better that way because everyone's getting what they want, and everyone's coming to an agreement on the end result.
Awesome. And with a project like that, I'm assuming it was like a live action film.
Yeah.
What you end up having in those like cases is you have like a third or maybe fourth or fifth creator in there of just like someone who's like editing everything together, and they have a lot of footage that you can work with. With animation, you kind of have to make everything, so you kind of don't want to make any more than you actually need. So a lot of times it functions really well to have a very specific idea of how you want everything to like work with the timing. That's why something like Fantasia or like old Looney Tunes cartoons kind of work like that. They're much more. You have like you have tighter margins to sort of work around.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, this was a fun little bonus. We'll throw this. I don't do too much, Patreon only, but we'll give it to the Patrons for a year or so before we let the plebes out there, and the public enjoy this little, add-on. But super cool. Well, Timothy, enjoy Prehet's, MechWarrior Revival, and MechWarrior Origins. Those are the other three, once you get to watch them. But and Dan, thanks for sharing. I know it's always. It's like they're watching my work, it's like oh my gosh.
I was like watching the live chat when the thing like initially aired. I was just like having a panic attack the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Too fun. Well, it's been good times, gentlemen. I'll